Flight slow. Pull up. Wind shear. Wind shear. Wind shear. Terrain. Terrain. Pull up. Obstacle. Obstacle. Pull up. Airspeed
Guys,
low.
videos on board.
Flight slow. Pull up. Wind shear. Wind shear. Wind shear. In up. Sink rate. Sink rate. Terrain. Terrain. Pull up. Don't sink. Don't sink. Too low. Terrain. Too low. Gear. Too low. Flaps. Too low. Terrain. Flight slow. Bank angle. Bank angle. Approaching minimums.
Minimum.
2,500. 1,000. 500. 400. 300. 200. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10. Wind shear. Wind shear. Wind shear. Too low. Terrain. Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead. Pull up. Obstacle. Obstacle. Obstacle ahead. Pull up.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard United Flight 1015. As you're finding your seat, please make sure all carry-on items are securely stowed either underneath the seat in front of you or in an overhead compartment. We suggest stowing your rollerboard bags wheels out. Your small, lightweight electronic devices can be used while we're parked here at the gate. However, once the boarding door is closed, it must be turned to airplane or non-transmit mode. Your larger devices, such as laptops and DVD players, can also be used at this time. However, once the door is closed, it must be completely turned off, unplugged and stowed either underneath the seat in front of you or in an overhead compartment. If you are seated in an exit row, please review the front of the safety card. If you cannot meet the standards or are unwilling or unable to perform the actions possibly required of you without injury, please notify a flight attendant for reseating. This aircraft is equipped with Wi-Fi, so you can stay connected on our flight this evening. You can also activate that seat back monitor in front of you at any time to begin watching live TV with DirecTV. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Welcome aboard United Flight 1015. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, welcome aboard United Flight 1015. As you're finding your seat, please make sure all carry-on items are securely stowed either underneath the seat in front of you or in an overhead compartment. We suggest stowing those rollerboard bags wheels out. Your small lightweight devices such as mobile phones, tablets, and e-readers can be used while we're parked here at the gate. Once the boarding door is closed, they can continue to be used, but they must be put in airplane or non-transmit mode. Your large devices such as laptops and DVD players can also be used at this time. However, once the door is closed, it must be completely turned off, unplugged, and stowed either underneath the seat in front of you or in an overhead compartment. If you're seated in an exit row, please review the front of the safety card. If you cannot meet the standards or are unwilling or unable to perform the actions possibly required of you without injury, please notify a flight attendant for reseating. This aircraft is equipped with Wi-Fi, so you can stay connected on our flight this evening. You can also activate that seatback monitor in front of you at any time to begin watching live TV with DirecTV. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Welcome aboard United Flight 1015.
Captain has turned on the fasten seatbelt sign. We do ask that all passengers take your seat at this time and please fasten your seatbelt. Just as a reminder, we cannot leave the gate until all carry-on items are properly put away, all overhead bins are closed, and all passengers are seated. Flight attendants prepare for departure, cross-check and all call, thank you.
All right, we've got everyone strapped in. Give us a ring if you need anything.
Toes connected.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard United Airlines. Thank you for flying with us today. As you're finding your seats, remember to stow your carry-on items either under the seat in front of you or in an overhead compartment. We suggest stowing your rollerboard bag in the overhead compartment wheels first. If you need help, ask a flight attendant. We'll be happy to assist. You may use your small lightweight devices such as mobile phones, tablets, and e-riders while we're parked at the gate. Large devices such as laptops and DVD players may be used until we're ready to depart. At that time, they must be stowed either under the seat in front of you or in an overhead compartment. This aircraft is Wi-Fi enabled, so you can stay connected on today's flight. You can access united.com free of charge to check flight status and monitor connecting flight information. Our Economy Plus seats feature more space and are reserved for our Mileage Plus Premier members or for customers who have purchased these seats in advance. If you'd like to purchase Economy Plus seating on this flight, please ask a flight attendant for more details. If you're seated in an exit seat, please review the exit row responsibilities on the safety card. If you're unable or prefer not to perform these functions, please contact a flight attendant. We'll be happy to find you another seat. Thank you for your attention and welcome on board.
Here comes the pushback.
Folks, welcome aboard our flight today. It's a pleasure to have you on board United Airlines. We're preparing to button the ship up and get on our way. Looking like an on-time departure for us today, and okay weather along the route. Just a quick reminder, do please remain in your seats when that seatbelt sign is illuminated with those seatbelts comfortably fastened for your safety. We got 3 in the back with you today. We appreciate your cooperation with any instructions they may offer. Again, welcome aboard.
In just a moment, we'd like to direct your attention to the video screens located throughout the aircraft for a brief but very important safety message about the safety features, please.
Welcome aboard. Bienvenidos a bordo.
Benvenuti a bordo. Jindy Donra.
Welcome aboard, and thank you for flying United today. We appreciate your attention as we demonstrate the safety features of this aircraft. Please switch all smartphones, tablets, and e-readers to airplane mode, or disable cellular technology for the duration of the flight. For taxi, takeoff, and landing, smaller personal electronic devices must be secured, and larger laptop computers must be switched off and stowed. For international destinations, your flight attendants will advise if it's necessary to turn off and stow your device. Whenever the seatbelt sign is on, your seatbelt should be fastened low and tight across your lap. To fasten, slide the metal end into the buckle. Tighten by pulling the loose end of the strap. Lift the buckle to release. We suggest you keep your seatbelt fastened at all times, even when the seatbelt sign is off. If you're seated in an exit row, 2 on each side of the airplane inflate. There are also 2 window exits over the wings, which can be opened by removing the cover and pulling down on the marked handle. During a water landing, do not use the exits in the rear of the aircraft unless advised by a crew member. Slides detach from the aircraft and serve as extra flotation devices. You'll also find 3 rafts in the marked compartments. If you nearest your seat, the closest necessary and oxygen mask will drop from above your seat. Firmly pull the mask to extend the plastic tubing and start the flow of oxygen. Place over your nose and mouth. Slip the elastic band over your head and tighten the straps. The bag may not inflate while oxygen is flowing. Make sure your mask is secure before helping others. You'll find a life vest. Inflate your vest just prior to exiting the aircraft by pulling down sharply on the red tab. If you have any questions, please ask your...
Ladies and gentlemen, we have dimmed the cabin lights for taxi and takeoff. We do suggest that you your garment or your blanket so that we do not have to disturb you in the event the fasten seatbelt sign is illuminated. And we'll be back after takeoff with more information regarding our flight.
Attendants, please be seated for departure.
1,000.
Ladies and gentlemen, the fasten seatbelt sign is on. Please remain seated. When the captain turns the sign off, you'll be able to move about the cabin. When you are in your seat, please keep your seatbelt fastened in the event of unexpected turbulence. Please be careful when opening the overhead compartments. We ask that you use the lavatories located in your cabin, and please don't stand near the lavatories in the galleys. You may now use all approved personal electronic devices. For everyone's safety, please make sure your personal belongings are clear of the aisle. We're pleased to offer personal device entertainment on our United Private Screenings option, sponsored by the United Plus Explorer card, on-demand movies, and the seat back in front of you. If you need to have a headset, we'll be happy to provide one once the captain lets the flight crew get up from our jump seat. After you connect to the United Wi-Fi network, go to unitedwifi.com. You can access united.com and the United app free of charge, where you can check flight status and more. To use other apps and websites, you can purchase an internet access plan. We will be serving a variety of complimentary drinks, wines, craft beer, and other alcoholic beverages for purchase. In United Economy, a variety of snack boxes and refreshments are available to purchase, as well as freshly prepared meals from our bistro on-board menu. You can find more details about the menu in the back of Hemispheres magazine or the seatback guide. We accept most major debit and credit cards, including those with a Visa, MasterCard, Discover, or American Express logo, as well as the Mileage Plus Explorer Visa card. We now invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the service on today's flight. Let us know if there's anything we can do to make your flight more comfortable.
been switched on. For your safety, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the seatbelt sign has been switched off.
Flight attendants, please prepare the cabin for landing.
Ladies and gentlemen, your large personal devices must be turned off and stowed. You may continue to use your small electronic devices, but they must be unplugged and set to airplane mode and secured. As a reminder, carry-on items should be securely stowed either under the seat in front of you or in an overhead compartment. Please be sure your seatbelts are fastened, seat backs and tray tables are upright, and your headrests are lowered. If you need assistance, please ring your call button. We're happy to help. Flight attendants, prepare the cabin for arrival and be seated.
Thousand to go.
2,500. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
We will be taxiing for the next few minutes, so please remain seated with your seatbelts fastened and all items stowed until the seatbelt sign is turned off. Please make sure that you have all of your personal belongings and be careful in opening overhead compartments. You're now free to use your mobile phones and small lightweight devices in transmit mode. If you are connecting, please check the United app on your mobile device or see the airport displays for up-to-date flight status and gate information. On behalf of United, our Star Alliance partners, and your entire flight crew, thank you for flying the friendly skies with us today. We hope you had a pleasant experience, and we look forward to serving you again on another United flight. Disarm doors for arrival, cross-check and stand by for our call.